So, with respect to these online platforms, so-called OTT, do you think there is a need for regulation of the content?
So I believe that to a limited extent, there is a need to regulate content, especially when fundamental rights or the freedom of speech and expressions are not unlimited, or the so-called liberty, which we call. It should not be stressed to an extent where it could hurt the feelings or it could promote something which may affect foreign relations or which may affect the government of the day. For example, sir, recently there was a web series in Netflix regarding to Kandahar hijack, and many of the things have shown which was purely fictitious, which may not have occurred. And it has shown bureaucracy in a bad repute that they were negotiating with Taliban or the government of India has bowed down to Taliban. So such kind of things does not reflect well upon our foreign policy and our relation with Taliban. Or similarly, some series like Tandav, which affects religious sentiments. So
Hmm.
for that, I believe that to some extent regulation should be there, but over regulation should not be there. Where let's say Indian Information Service bureaucrats are watching each and every kind of dialogue and cutting or censoring it. That may affect the right to know of citizen as well.
Okay. So, do you think this regulation will become difficult in the light of more such platforms coming up, more content being created, and also there is more consumption of such content across not only India, like across the world also. So, how do you catch up with the magnitude of the issue?
So cyber world is now very vast in its length and breadth, and now the government of India is also apprised of the matter that we have to tackle cyber crime or whatever is going on in cyber world, and to build up the capacity, we need to train officers and the public servants so that they should be well equipped in going through what is in the OTT platform before allowing it in the public arena. And for that, I believe that a regular training and there should be a digital science university. Of course, government is focusing on digital forensic university, but it should also focus in digital
Any
science.
scope for using AI tools here?
Yes, sir, AI can have a very limited effect here because even if there will be artificial general intelligence, which is more better than AI, but it cannot screen the bias which might be there. For example, maybe something might be liberal for me and I may allow, but it may affect the religious sentiment or some other sentiments of other people. And for that, I think humanitarian angle has to be there, which cannot be totally taken up by the AI.
Mhm. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
basically the humans do the work at the end of the day. So uh, by watching.
Not the entire, but
Mhm.
yes, sir. At some places, human angle has to be there because maybe some biases can be there in the AI itself, which may not go into the nitty gritty of the characters or the dialogues or various content.
So, how our courts have viewed this creative freedom over the years? What has been their observation whenever the government has tried to curtail such kind of freedom?
So, in last few years, I have seen that the Supreme Court is being having a balance in both. So sometimes it go on to stress to criticize the government, and it says that they, when the government regulates such be content, then it has a chilling effect on article. The government, yeah, the Supreme Court uses chilling effect on Article 19(1)(a) or freedom of speech and expression or right to know of Indian citizen. So in that, in cases like Prakash Jha cases, Padmavati cases, and in credibility films cases, the Supreme Court has said that the government cannot shed its responsibility saying that there is a law and order problem. It is the duty of the government to maintain law and order problem, and at the same time allow the people to enjoy their right to know. So the Supreme Court is in favor of citizens' right to know and right
Mhm.
to enjoy cinema or freedom of speech and expression. So I think this is the view taken by the Supreme Court. But in certain cases, Supreme Court has given discretion to the government also that they can regulate the content if there is a if it wants to have social control. But there
Mhm.
should be a board of censor board, and there should be secretary level monitoring, and not some by some low level officials.
Mhm. Okay. So you must be closely watching what is happening in American elections right now,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So what do you think is the role of technology in all these democratic processes, campaigning, elections, and how it is influenced?
So, sir, talking about America, so I believe that they are using widely using AI now for various
Mhm.
reasons. One thing I thought that they are now focusing on not only in targeting but micro targeting. That is, for
Mhm.
each and every individual, they have different set of opinions, different set of targeting or ad campaigns by which they can have a whole new kind of advertisement or influencing that particular
Mhm.
individual. So, for example, in Indian general election, it was seen that not to a whatever advertisement was there, it was to the mass extent. That okay, a certain set of people, let's say Hindu or Muslim, were getting influenced by the election campaign. But in USA, they are using such campaigns that they are seeing the profile of a person, then augmenting the ad and then catering it to that particular individual. That is called micro targeting as per the Wired. Then also for
Mhm.
funding, because in when we talk about electoral bonds, which were quashed in India, but it is very much used in USA. So there also the technology is playing a great role in collection of funds and monitoring of funds throughout the process. And also Donald Trump and uh, sorry, the Kamala Harris, uh, to a great extent, they are using the digital media to directly talk to their potential voters or the swing voters.
Mhm.
Uh, yes, sir.
Okay. So what about uh, you might be aware of the Cambridge Analytica,
Yes, sir.
controversy that was there in previous election. So can you tell about what was it about?
Yes, sir. So Cambridge Analytica was allegation against former President Donald Trump, and that it said that there is a nexus which was there where Russia has to a great extent influenced the perception of people, and they used Facebook to change the perception of people while voting and showing the Democrats Party in a bad light. So
Mhm.
in this election also, it is believed that deepfake technology may be used to change the perception, and it is being used. It is alleged that some deepfakes are being made to show, let's say, President Biden in bad light, that he is being old, or
Mhm.
to show other candidates in some other lights, or
So
even
that is
the Donald
one
Trump
way of
also.
that is one way of looking into issue. So basically, the larger issue was influencing the election outcome using
Yes, sir.
social media, right?
Yes, sir.
So, but we are seeing, if you are active on Twitter or X, you might have seen that Elon Musk openly endorsing and
Yes, sir.
also enticing voters with money, and is offering $1 million every day to one individual who brings a large number of people into Republican fold. So it's he's directly influencing, he's allowing disinformation, misinformation to be shared and spread across social media. uh, what what about are there any kind of international law or are our democratic law and American democratic law are the different? So what is your observation?
So, as far as international law is concerned, since it is a purely a private activity, an international, the public international is mainly concerned about relationship between states and
Hmm.
their relations inter se. So, international law would not be applicable here. As far as American constitution or American laws are concerned, so there they have Public Decency Act, U.S. Communications Act, which may be applicable. But since it is a liberal country where the capitalists have a great role or say in a system, and where there is a endorsing in a there's a direct endorsing also, because if we see the funding culture there, like electoral bonds, so there it is taken as a noble activity, that it is no less than cost, it is not lesser cost than climate change or anything like that. For them, democracy, election is a great kind of thing, and they directly fund also. And
Hmm.
talking about endorsing by any particular individual who owns a significant social media company, so I believe that it is his personal choice to whom which he wants to endorse. But of course, he is using that platform, being an owner, which I think is a kind of misuse of the power or the corporate. Uh, let's say corporate, it is a failure of corporate governance, I would say, because that person is directly using his corporate power to influence the entire public. So I think the
Hmm.
corporate governance should have been there. The board of directors of X should have a role rather than a particular individual playing the shots.
Okay. So when you said that watching legal drama, so American or Indian, like Hollywood or Indian dramas?
So both.
Both. Okay.
Yes,
So what is your
sometimes
observation?
Italian also. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
sir.
So,
Sometimes I go to
so
European jurisdiction or Korean jurisdiction also.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
So if you watched American legal dramas and Indian legal dramas, can you make a comparison? So not with respect to how these dramas are made. It's about the very nature of laws and what is the outlook of the society and how they have received these laws and how they are used and how they are implemented.
Yes, sir. So I believe that when it comes to the American legal drama and Indian legal drama comparison, one significant thing which I see is how people perceive the justice system. So in America, people are not fearful of going into the courts. They are ready to help the court as a witness or as to present any evidence. Or there the DA system works very well, like district attorney, where he is very powerful person who is like something who can manage the entire legal system with the help of judges. Whereas compared to
So
India,
we don't have any equivalent position in India.
in India we have public prosecutor in every district,
Hmm.
but the
Okay.
public
Continue,
prosecutor
continue.
is,
Hmm.
yes sir. So comparing to India, in India, justice system is seen as a punishment rather than a process. People do not want to get step into the courtroom as a witness or to present any evidence. So people in even in web series it has shown that when they get someone to be as a witness, so people usually have a fear that okay we have to go to court. Whereas in America they don't know, okay it is our duty to go to the court and help the court so that there should be rule of a law in the country. Similarly, talking about public prosecutors, in India, we have so much of respect for SP or the DM, who is the head of the district for law and order, but there is hardly any respect for public prosecutors. People do not even know who are the public prosecutors. They do not have any facilities also, and that is one of the reasons why I have not ever joined to thought of joining that service, because of lack of
Hmm.
respect or incentives. Similarly, talking about other differences, second is the testimony which the witnesses give in USA. So there they are very fearful that if they will say anything wrong, they would be charged for felony. Whereas in India, in web series also, in courtroom also, people believe that okay, witness tampering is very easy. Turning a witness hostile by making them fear of something, or maybe threatening them of their life, has in many times in many political cases has shown that people usually turn hostile, whereas it is very difficult to make witness hostile, and
Okay.
entire
So
criminal justice system.
going back to your first point, where you
Yes.
mentioned that there is kind of a culture in America where they are not afraid of the court. They go as witness, they go and file the case, they file the lawsuit, and they approach DA very freely without fear.
Yes, sir.
So why do you think that culture exists in America and that culture doesn't exist in India? What could be the reasons?
So one reason is because of lack of in education in India. So people have very limited legal education in India, or legal awareness. Second reason is, sir, India is a duty oriented society, whereas America is a right oriented society. So in America, people are ready to even go to store, to go to courtroom, even if there is a, let's say, a hole in their underwear. So there is a Grant versus Australian case. So a person went to UK from Australia just because there was some issue in his underwear. So that is a kind of society because people are so much worried about their rights. They do not want anyone to impede their rights, and they have a long history of civil war to get their rights, of course. And third thing is, sir, in India, as I told that in India, process is a punishment. Because if you enter into system, it takes 20-25 years. And that's why people do not want to get into the process. Thereby,
Mm.
they think that it is better not to go to the court rather than to either settle personally or leave it the matter as it
Mhm.
is. Yes.
Okay, so when it comes to the protests in India, so because you mentioned about rights, right?
Yes, sir.
So what do you think about the section like 144 and 129? I think, right? So what is the difference between how these protests are treated in America or other liberal democracies compared to India? Do you think it's regressive in India? Like,
So, sir, section 144 of CRPC, which gives DM power to control the. Is that the question?
yeah, yeah, right. Yes. So with
Yeah. So,
respect to how people are beaten, lathi charge,
yes,
and
sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So now, sir, BNSS has come. So I'm not sure about the section because CRPC is now not there. I think
yeah, yes,
section 144 has been changed. I think it has been
correct.
renumbered. But
Hmm.
talking about, sir, the protest. So in USA, the very first amendment is regarding to right to freedom of speech and expression, and it gives unlimited power to protest. So even people
Hmm.
have power to burn their flags, the national flags in USA, and
Hmm.
usually police is a mute expected in such cases.
Hmm.
It won't go into lathi charge. However, recently we have seen that in Palestine case, in Harvard University and some Ivy League University, students were protesting, and they have received the wrath of the police officials, and the students were beaten up, they have been locked and gagged. So even in USA also, it has been seen that the government of the day is not very much allowing or bearing with the protest. So the
Hmm.
libertarian order which is there in USA is the peak of it is been decreasing in few years uh, because of various of
I think
reasons.
it is section 141, not 144. 141 peaceful assembly. So even that is also we have seen in India.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So coming to your hobby of legal drama,
Yes, sir.
right? Do you think the Indian creators of this content drama, so are they true to the reality? Like,
So, sir, to certain extent, some drama shows some masala and some kind of spice up. They do it, but I have seen few web series where they have shown the truth and especially how
mhm.
the system works, and not just to please the public. Of course,
So
uh,
do they have any impact on public? Like, does it create more legal awareness? Earlier you were talking about legal knowledge.
So there's a problem is that that drama, the OTTs or the dramas which are there in the OTT platform, they are not played by great actors which attract a huge public. So they have been played by a very low profile characters like Pankaj Tripathi or Shia Pilgaonkar, which does not have a much limelight like Shah Rukh Khan
Pankaj
or.
Tripathi has a huge fan following.
So he has a huge fan following, but when he comes as a supporting actor, not as a lead actor. So
Hmm.
of course, and when some web series is related to a lot of abuse, like Mirzapur, which attracts youth much rather than a character of a lawyer. So
Hmm.
now, because of wokeism culture or that culture which is there in the youth, so that does not attract lot of public. However, his criminal justice web series, which is there, sir, it has shown to a great extent the truth, which is played in the courtroom also and in the jails, in Indian jails as well. Because in USA also they do not show what is the life of inmates in a jail, how they are treated by the justice system. That was shown in India, which was a bit interesting thing because
Hmm.
even lawyers and judges do not give much importance to the life of inmates in jail.
Okay. So why do you want to become IAS?
Yes, sir. So, sir, currently I'm in Indian Railway Management Service,
Hmm.
and I have a very limited scope to work with the public or have a public interface. Talking
Hmm.
about IS, sir, it work across the sector from low level, like in entry position, or from first posting, like from SDM to cabinet secretary. There are various amount of opportunity to work at different ministries and to understand what is the basic problem at the lower level, and then work throughout our life and career. And also,
Hmm.
it's my personal wish also to have that kind of reputation which is associated with the post. Even in talking about the top of the system, also now from railways, people are going as a joint secretary in various ministry. But I think, sir, unless until we won't have a experience of what is happening in the low level or in the district level, even I think maybe it won't work if I become joint secretary from, let's say, from railway as a lateral entry. So I think, sir, IS is something which will be more beneficial for me.
Okay. Thank you.
Eh, yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Uh, so what do you think?
I'm not sure, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So
Maybe.
the quality is good, but some answers are unnecessarily very lengthy. Even the last answer, for example,
Yes,
there
sir.
is no need to make a comparison with IRMS, right?
Okay.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
anyway, like don't assume that it is in that context the question is asked or something. It's a
Okay.
separate question in itself, like why IAS, irrespective of in which service you are, where you are. So
Yes,
it is
sir.
better to just focus on the scope of the question. Like,
Yes, sir.
tell like why you think what is attractive, or why it is suitable for you, or something like.
Yes, sir.
So better to focus on only that. That is one.
Yes,
And
sir.
in one of the answer you said I didn't join the services because of this and all. Better not to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Law. Yeah, yeah. So
Public prosecutors.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that unnecessarily that just
Yes, sir.
puts profession in a negative light.
Yes, sir.
Uh, I think we should always be constructive.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And prioritization of points is also required. So, in some answers, obvious point is coming, and then the quality point is coming. Right.
Yes, sir.
So, for example, that US and India, the attitude, the culture which we were discussing.
Yes, sir.
So, the second point which you focused on, the rights aspect and the duty aspect.
Yes, sir.
So, I would have preferred to hear it as a first point, and then
Yes, sir.
something like that. Uh, like even in the very first question, also the OTT regulation and all, like there were more details, and you didn't have to talk about Indian information services
Yes,
watching
sir.
each and every content. I think that is unwarranted. I mean,
Yes, sir.
better not to bring such details or lines in your
Yes,
answers.
sir.
So even regarding American election thing, also that answer went very lengthy. Uh, 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 Of course, I mean, it is not that there is no quality in that. If you
Yes, sir.
prioritize what is more significant and important, only if you can restrict to that, right?
Yes, sir.
So the answer is better. It doesn't. It should not exceed more than 1 minute, in my opinion.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday, I happened to no, day before yesterday, I happened to sit with Sudhir Krishnamurthy, NLS Vice Chancellor.
Oh, yes, sir. Please, sir.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
yeah, himself, myself, and Vinod
Yes,
Rai, former CAG.
yes, sir.
Yeah, former CAG, Vinod Rai.
Okay, yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That
So,
1003 report. Tag report.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
2G report.
So we
Yeah,
went
yes.
to this. Yeah, yeah, we went to this Reva University. There is one Reva
Okay.
University in Bangalore.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Yes, sir.
they wanted to select a new vice chancellor and pro vice chancellors. So they
Okay.
had invited me to be part of that panel. So in addition to Vinod Rai and Sudhir Krishnamurthy,
Okay.
because I have this experience of doing mock
Yes, sir.
interviews and guiding students here.
Yes, sir.
So there I got some kind of new perspectives regarding interviews. Like nobody likes lengthy answers basically. So
Yes,
everyone
sir.
expects answers to be to the point, like directly hitting the bullseye, right?
Yes, sir.
And so try to talk about less about yourself wherever. I mean, whichever answer like.
Yes, sir.
It's not only in terms of boasting, like the point you made. I didn't want to join that, something like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But a large extent, it is reduced. I remember like first mocks that
Yes, sir.
this
Yes,
mock
sir.
it's a huge reform. I mean,
Yes, sir.
but then here and there small things are there.
Yes, sir.
So sometimes you tend to be like too critical. Uh,
Yes, sir.
so that needs to be avoided.
Yes, sir.
So other than I think it's good. Like I think I mean even now it is somewhere around 185 kind of performance because
Mm.
the focus was on ideas.
Yes, sir.
You were able to bring some new perspectives. So if you start aggressive preparation and you know get more clarity on these things, so
Yes, sir.
200 plus you can reach this year. You have the possibility.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So a few things I wanted to ask.
Hmm.
Uh, like, yes, sir. So last time I think there are some 32 questions in
Okay.
35 minutes.
Usually 2025 question they ask. Okay, 32
Yes,
is
sir.
good number. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I thought maybe I was too quick in answering, or maybe I was giving short answers, so that's why they were able to do more number of questions.
See, you need to know the importance, significance, and sometimes context of the question. So based on that, you have to adapt. Like some questions
Yes,
you need to be very short. Some questions you may have to give more
yes, sir.
details, depth. So depending on the nature of the question, you need to assess rather than
Yes,
trying to be uniform across the questions.
yes, sir. And so the second thing was that I was just because now I'm using Chat GPT just for the interview. Like I have not started preparation, but some basics
Hmm.
I was doing. It was saying I can have like I'm giving him my voice also to tell me how is my voice and using such kind of thing because that paid version works well in such kind of things. So it was
Hmm.
saying that you can work on amplitude modulation, pitch modulation. So maybe I
Hmm.
can have pause somewhere while speaking.
Ah,
I can.
that is very much works. Pause, strategic pauses.
Yes, sir.
If the answer is lengthy. So earlier point I was making, if you notice that the question is born out of their interest in what you are saying, so
Yes,
there you
sir.
can say a bit more,
Yes,
right?
sir.
I mean, it is evoked by interest, like the question, so some curiosity. So okay, usually it's a follow-up question about what you
Yes,
are
sir.
saying. Okay? So then you
Yes,
should
sir.
be more detailed. So if you're going with details, so then definitely there must be certain pauses, very
Yes,
brief
sir.
pause. It's kind of a fraction of a
Yes,
second,
sir.
not even 1 second. So that actually works. And sometimes you record your own video and observe uh, if answer looks like whether you are telling to yourself or whether you are trying to you know engage them in a
Yes, sir.
conversation. It should be kind of inviting. You say
Yes, sir.
something, it should be appealing to their intellectual faculties or capacities, whatever, and then there should be a further
Yes,
curiosity
sir.
from there.
Yes,
So
sir.
the intention, there should be an intention behind the answer. It should not look merely like you asked a question and I'm delivering an answer,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So observe the
Yes, sir.
tone, because sometimes in tone we can easily differentiate if it is
Yes,
intended
sir.
to just answer and pause, or
Yes,
whether it
sir.
is intended to continue.
Yes, sir. So the last time, I think three of the four, five board members. So with them, they only asked two questions, and then it was
Hmm.
a follow up question with all of them. They were not asking any new questions.
Then that
So
is good only. See, 176 is not bad marks. I mean,
yes,
of
sir.
course, it could have been better, but
Yes, sir.
if they were annoyed with something else, it would have been 160, 155. But they have liked it.
Yes,
It is
sir.
just that some moderation somewhere,
Yes,
or
sir.
maybe little more depth in some issues. So
Yes,
that
sir.
they might have expected.
Yes, sir. And maybe board member also. I don't know that year that ma'am. I forgot her name. So
If it was their first experience in conducting civil services, usually they award low marks.
okay.
So, anyways, all the best. We'll do one more
Yes, sir.
maybe after a few
Yes,
days.
sir.
Eh?
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you.